Today marks 1403rd day short lessons I learn and continue to learn with you. My hope these insights will inspire you, support your dreams, help achieve your goals, and really empower you to become the person that you want to become. Today I speak about micro actions, and that's those actions that you're able to do within 5 minutes. I think this is very important topic, but I never talked about it. I think that when I think about myself, sometimes when I have 5 minutes, I have a tendency maybe grab my phone and look into my phone, and there is no value in looking at my phone. So if you have those 5 minute increments multiple times a day, that means that if you have 4, 5, maybe 10 times when you have 5 minutes, it then might end up being an hour wasted every single day. Because we do not ask what we can do with those 5 minutes that could really elevate my game, could elevate my productivity, could elevate me as a person. And I think this question is supposed to be very essential. Like one thing is that some seasons when I track my time, when I have a time budget, when I know exactly where everything goes, I'm able to fix those 5 minutes increments and able to focus on something that is useful. Even reading a book is much better than scrolling on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, or whatever other social media. Now, it's not important every single 5 minutes to do something and hustle. Sometimes it's just being able to reflect, recharge, being able to be present, mindful. That is very essential as well. So rather than going right away in the phone and looking at it and scrolling all the things, maybe sometimes it's just really relax and really reflect and enjoy the nothingness of those 5 minutes. So today we share multiple things. I think probably example of a day when you have 10 times 5 minutes, what you potentially could do with every single 5 minutes. And after that, I will give you an acronym, what you're able to do with the 5 minutes that you don't need to consider every single time when the 5 minutes comes up. You know exactly what you potentially could do to really maximize those 5 minutes. So let's look into examples of 5 minutes, what you potentially could do with those. First one is morning focus. I think that with potentially if you have 5 minutes early in the morning, you can really focus on writing down 1 or 3 things that you want to achieve today. Like it doesn't require much. If you have 5 minutes, that means that you write down at least one thing. What is your intention? If you have a little bit more, you can ask if you came up very fast and you already know intention. Maybe second and third, what could be intention? What kind of actions you want to do? What kind of person you want to be? What are the things that you would love to see today? So write your intention. Probably one of the best books I have read was by John C. Maxwell, is Intentional Living. And it's always said that you don't end up on the mountain by accident. That's why intention is so important, and intention doesn't require you hours to understand your intention. Sometimes just a couple of minutes will put you in a better footing when you start your day. So if you have early in the day, you have set and write your intentions. Number 2 is quick learning. So rather than scrolling, rather than looking for motivation, rather than to really waste our time with cat videos, we're able to look into what could be 5 mini podcasts. And potentially we can have an hour-long podcast and be able to listen to 5 minutes each. So that means within a couple stops. And if, for example, me, I'm listening on 2 speed majority of podcasts. It depends on what kind of podcast. So that means that if it's an hour podcast, that means in 2 speed is a half an hour listening. So in half an hour, it means that you need 6 5-minute increments and you're able to finish a podcast. So you already will be wiser within 6 times of 5 minutes. Right now scrolling, now you look into the power of incremental listening and learning. Number 3 could be a micro action. So we can look into what are small high priority task. What is small high priority task? Maybe there is something that you can do and again, this is what I love about small increments, that there could be a high priority task. It might be that you require a lot of time for it, but one thing is beautiful is that what kind of high priority task, what kind of small part of it could you do right now? And give yourself grace that you have only 5 minutes, but be proud of yourself that you're able to really execute maybe even 5 minutes. Because when you add those 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes, you can, so that if you have 10 times 5 minutes a day, that's end up being almost an hour of your time. And if you multiply that hour within 365 days, you look into about 300 hours wasted every single year if you do not learn how to use those 5 minutes. So micro action in high priority task. Number 4 is physical boost. This is again very, very essential. That means what you can do, where you at. Maybe you can do a couple of push-ups, maybe a couple of squats, maybe just jumping. What you could potentially, maybe going around the block. Move your body. Because sometimes we don't have energy because we just didn't move our body. Because if you want to get energy, you need to give energy. So that means that when we have 5 minutes, rather than scrolling and sitting on our butts, being able to walk and do some exercises. This is very, very essential. Physical boost. And that's exactly when I used to work in remotely at home. A lot of times I used to do, like, my breaks used to be push-ups and squats. And I think that's very, very essential to move our blood around. Number 5 is a reflection sprint. And we can reflection sprint on a lot of things. We can it depends on which part of the day we can reflect what's happening or what happened in the day. And then say, like, what's working, what's not working, what's blocking, what I need help with, and really just those 3 questions or any other question that you have built yourself to reflect what's going on in this day and what you've been able to do differently just to make sure that I'm able to improve this day and get the maximum results. Number 6 is skill practice. And that means that we can really look into, like, maybe I want to learn Spanish, maybe I could learn other language, maybe I want to really coding language, maybe I want to really writing, drawing, painting, sales. Like, it doesn't matter what skill, but there is something that you can learn for 5 minutes. And again, this is a skill practice, and that means skill practice leads to better results for you in the future. So that means that we need to understand that those 5 minutes multiplied by 10, 15, 100 times will add to an enormous amount of skill development within those 5 minutes increments. Number 7 is mindfulness and gratitude. And this is one of the most beautiful, sometimes the hardest ones. Really say thank you for the things that you already achieved. Be grateful for all the things that you have. Be grateful about your day and being able to be mindful. I think that this is very, very important to understand that something is just being able to sit on your butt, gaze at the sky, enjoy the moment, enjoy the sky, the information that is coming to you, and really look into, like, the sounds, the size, the shape of the cloud. Being able to absorb this kind of information that most time you don't absorb because you don't see that, because you waste our time on all the things from the past, on the future, and sometimes we forget how important it is to really enjoy our moment in the present moment and being able to be mindful. So meditate, breathe. 5-minute meditation is very powerful, and be grateful. Number 8 is micro action again. I think that we're able to understand there's a couple micro actions that you can able to do. Like, if you do one micro action, you're able to do a second micro action. I think that's very, very, very important. Number 9 is knowledge consolidation. That means when you look into, maybe write notes for yourself, write wisdom nuggets, knowledge nuggets, and then bring them together. Understand that there is a lot of ideas that it could come in those 5 minutes, and write them down. Because sometimes when I think about, I have amazing idea, and I forget to write it down, and after that idea just disappears, and I'm thinking I knew that I had an idea and I forgot about it. So write that idea down. I think this is writing notes and knowledge consolidation could be very powerful thing in those 5 minutes. And last one, and probably one of the most important things as well, of course, we need to have connection and contribution. Since connection with ourselves was more of a present mindfulness, and now we need to connect with others. So 5 minutes we can really connect it by saying a compliment, genuine compliment, maybe the people in front of us, that we're able to see and understand and reflect what we are grateful about them. Maybe able to really message on Facebook or any other, or maybe on text, the people that you care about the most. And really tell them that I think about you right now. I'm working, I have a couple of minutes, and they decide to message you. And I think that's connection, that's nurturing, that they're really saying that they care about you. When I have a minute, I'm able to really think of you. I think it's very, very, very important that we're able to send that message in place. So I think that it is very, very important, as I said, to really create our plan that we can be much more effective with and not waste our time. So I promised the plan, what we can potentially do, and this acronym is FLAME. So what we're able to do with the 5 minutes, the first one is focus, really make that intention. So FLAME equals focus, set intention, prioritize task. L for FLAME is learn. We need to really read, watch, listen something new. A for action, activity, microtask, skill practice. M is for move, stretch, walk, exercise. And E stands for ease, escape, mental reset, mindfulness, gratitude, skygazing. So FLAME, I think that is a powerful acronym to understand that you are able to do something with your 5 minutes. And you said, okay, FLAME, okay, I need to really look in this fire and need to create those 5 minutes that could really do and elevate my life. Because I think that when we look into the importance of those 5 minutes, we understand there's a lot of great things, but a couple I mentioned just a couple of the most important ones is that they open the door to do more. Because when you start, because sometimes starting is very, very, very difficult. So when you start, it opens to more. It makes you resilient. It compounds. It creates momentum. Consistency is more important than intensity. It builds your identity, and really bypass any kind of resistance around the action, because only just 5 minutes, like you said, will not, because sometimes we're afraid, but because we need to work an hour, 2 hours, but when you say it's just only 5 minutes, it really goes through all the resistance and just able to focus on that thing for 5 minutes. So I hope you reflect as well. What do you do with your 5 minutes, 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes? What do you do? Do you waste, lay down and relax? Even that sometimes is very, very important. Do you scroll, or do you really find, okay, like I don't know what to do with them, but I will work to find out what I could potentially do to be more efficient with my life. So I hope you just win, and see you tomorrow.